Ms. Marshall, roll call.
Mr. Armour? Mrs. Denny?
Here.
Mr. Doherty?
Here.
Mrs. Essler? Ms. Hilferty? Mrs. Jones?
Here.
Mrs. Powell?
Here.
Mrs. Stone?
Here.
Mr. Tinsley?
Here. Next on the agenda, 2.01, approval of minutes. This motion is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of January 27th, 2016. Do I have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.02 is the invoice listing. This motion approves the invoice listing for January 2016 through February 2016. Do I have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.03 Treasurer's Report. Ms. Powell?
As of December 31st, there we go. Pendelco's balance was $31,428,066. During January 2016, local, state, and federal revenues totaled $7,947,836. Disbursements were issued in the amount of $3,341,215. As of January 31st, 2016, Pendelco's current balance is $36,034,687. The motion is to approve the Treasurer's Report for January 2016. Do I have this motion?
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.04 is the Budget Transfer Report. This motion is to approve the Budget Transfer Report as presented. Do I have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.05 is supplemental financial information. This includes expenditures, revenue, and student activity. Number 3 on the agenda, Superintendent's Report. Dr. Signoff.
Thank you, Mr. Tinsley. Good evening, everyone. Whether here in attendance tonight or viewing a taped version of our meeting, I want to thank you for your interest in Pendelco. Our commitment to our pursuit of excellence is always improved because of your interest in the district, and that is energizing for us, and I appreciate your attention to Pendelco. It's my pleasure this evening to use time during my superintendent's report to acknowledge and recognize Northley and Pendelco's own Nicole Sayer for an exceptional achievement. Ms. Sayer was recently selected as the Pennsylvania Middle School Counselor of the Year by the Pennsylvania School Counselors Association. And what an accomplishment this is. When a staff member like Ms. Sayer is acknowledged by statewide professional organizations, it leads to a deserved level of pride for Pendelco as well, knowing that we have a teacher or a counselor in this case whose work truly stands out. The Counselor of the Year Award honors, quote, the best of the best counselors who are running a top-notch comprehensive school counseling program at either the elementary, middle, or high school level. Mr. Blair, principal of Northley Middle School, had this to say about Ms. Sayer. She works tirelessly to support students and their families, and I have to agree with that. Every time I'm over at the school, I see her running around with some student or meeting with parents non-stop. She's the point person for Northley's PBS and student assistance programs. Her personal leadership and commitment to the success of the school was seen throughout the school building at multiple levels. Regularly selected to present at regional and statewide conferences, Nicole has been instrumental in school improvement efforts. Mr. Blair went on to list specific activities that Ms. Sarah is involved in that frankly are too numerous for us to mention tonight. Those of us who have worked with her have always known of her dedication, her love, and her care for the students, and her skill as a counselor. It's wonderful that it has now been acknowledged by peers outside of Pendelco as well. So in acknowledgement of her selection as Pennsylvania Middle School Counselor of the Year, the school board would like to present Nikki Sayer with a certificate of recognition and let the minutes reflect the board's intent to formally acknowledge an impressive job well done. Nicole Sayer.
I'm just lucky enough to be able to do a job in a district that I love and, you know, be there for kids and build relationships with members of the community. So for that, I'm very thankful.
While we're waiting for this image to fire up, here it comes. I'll continue on. Tonight, I'm also pleased to announce and inform the board of our latest effort to engage the community through effective social media tools. Communication remains one of the 5 keys to excellence, and we don't take it for granted. Social media has become an integral tool in our communications arsenal that we rely on to convey our messages of excellence every day. Our Facebook page consistently gains new likes every day, with some posts reaching audiences of up to 10,000. With almost 1,000 followers, Twitter has proven to be that snapshot experience that parents and students can rely on for quick announcements and information. And with the addition of our YouTube channel, captured video of our students has never been more accessible to parents in the community. Building off the success of our existing social tools, we're pleased to announce the addition of a Pendelco Instagram account. Our new Instagram account will capture exciting moments throughout the district and share them in a fast and visually appealing way. Instagram will also allow us to broaden our audience base, as it is the most popular social app used amongst middle and high school age students. Although Snapchat is growing too, but we're not doing Snapchat. Pendelco is proud to have embraced the social media wave and consistently been ahead of the curve in this space compared to other districts. In fact, tonight's meeting is being live streamed on the district's new Periscope channel. Our Periscope broadcast will be able to be accessed through our Twitter feed or from the Periscope icon that is on our homepage. This new feature allows our community to experience live moments from around our district in the events that they cannot be physically present. Periscope will help us share broadcasts such as these board meetings with a larger slice of the community in a convenient and very accessible way. If you haven't already, we would encourage you to download the Instagram and Periscope apps so that you can stay connected with Pendelco. While we're online, I also want to point out to you an upgrade to our website with respect to the athletics page that can now be accessed through Sun Valley's webpage, and we'll let Krista have a chance to get over to that in just a second. We've had some feedback that that particular space on the webpage could use some additional support, and we're very happy that, as she takes you to in just a second, you'll see some of the new features that we've added to this particular page on our website. So if you go up to the Pendelco webpage and you go to Sun Valley, this will load in just a second. Here we have a new tab for athletics, and you'll see on this webpage that it begins typically with large points of pride, great pictures in the front. We have staff for athletics, web pages that'll be designed just for our teams, fall, winter, and spring. Information on sports medicine, so you'll see all of them are represented here, including our cheerleading. Physical forms are there as well. On the inside athletics page, actually if you just drop down, Crystal will show you here, we'll continue down. Our schedules for the week, full calendar as well. News, we have tweets related to what's occurring there. Our news to the left-hand side, links to the Chestmont League, District 1, NCAA Eligibility Center. Any information that came through Delco Times or PA Max Preps is also put up there. And then down the bottom, we've got our featured athlete, a featured video, which could be video from any of our events that we have, or motivational information, and then obviously a message from our athletic director as well. So we're really glad that we could beef that up so that it's consistent with the academic content that we also have in other aspects of our webpage. Another key to excellence that deserves some attention is safe and supportive schools. Character education and a commitment to scholarly environments remains a priority for us. To that end, let me just note a couple things that are happening on the front lines. At Parkside, the staff has spent the year particularly focusing on developing a growth and grit mindset. It's hit on our fifth key to excellence, which is continuous improvement. The staff has been implementing many of the recommendations found in Carol Dweck's best-selling professional book, Mindset. Students as young as first grade aren't focused on the concerns of failure, but rather on their efforts towards achievement. And this is an approach that's long overdue in American education. Efforts to ensure safe and supportive schools continue at Northley Middle School. Just this past Monday, they completed a PBIS program review by the county, and they've been recognized for implementing Tier 1, quote, with fidelity. The team interviewed students at random faculty, and other random support staff. The visiting team from the county awarded a 99 out of 100 on the review. The recognition is well-deserved and speaks to the work done by the staff and student PBIS committees in the school as a whole. They will be honored at an upcoming state PBIS conference as well. PBIS promotion occurs at the elementary level also. We know we need to do more than just expect students to exercise exemplary behaviors. We need to show them how it's done. And last week, students from Sun Valley High School's PBIS team went to Pennell to help support the student kickoff for their PBIS program. During the assembly, expectations were reviewed for how to behave on the bus, how to behave in the cafeteria, how to behave in the hallways. Sun Valley students modeled inappropriate behaviors, and fifth grade students from Pennell then modeled the contrarily appropriate behaviors that we want to see instead. When we speak about safe and supportive schools, we intend to address more than just physical safety. Support for students is also important, and to that end, I'm pleased to point out that Sun Valley just effected a college-bound senior athlete advisory group. CBSAA is a volunteer staff-sponsored group that focuses on one goal. They're going to advise, support, mentor, and encourage young athletes who are interested in participating in sports at the collegiate level. Mr. Dunnigy notes that aside from helping these students with their futures, a group such as this pays immediate dividends, and he's already seen it, as it serves to ensure that students remain equally and especially focused on their academics during their years at Sun Valley. Finally, I'll touch on our first key to excellence, which is high expectations. Join me in wishing our Sun Valley High Q academic team as they square off tomorrow in the High Q playoffs lots of luck. Despite being one of the smallest high schools in the county, Sun Valley, again, has made it into the playoffs against teams such as Garnet Valley and Radnor. They represent Pendelco so very well. Today, I tweeted an example of high expectations from Aston Elementary also, where I was privileged to view third grade interpretations and representations of Vincent van Gogh's famous Starry Night painting. It was just really incredible. Art is being taken to another level. And from Coburn, we just learned that they have not just one or two, but 10 winners in the regional women's club writing contest from across all grade levels, with 3 first-place winners advancing to state-level consideration. So as you can see, I'm very proud of the way our 5 keys to excellence are always on display in our schools. And I thank you for the chance to touch on just a couple of them tonight during a public meeting. And congratulations again to Nikki Sayer for her accomplishment as Pennsylvania School Counselor of the Year. Thank you, Mr. Tinsley.
Thank you, Dr. Signoff. Additionally, wanted to, I know she already stepped away, but thank Nikki for all great work she's done for the district, and also for Krista Fazio. As you can always tell, we're always improving, whether it's technology, always in the classroom, and so on. And that's why when we met as a board, is one of our keys to excellence is always continuous improvement, and we actually always talk about ways to improve and how can we be a better district in the classroom and outside the classroom. So even representing the district on the internet is also great. So thank you. Next is student representatives of the report. Alexa and Alexandra both couldn't make tonight, so we have a special guest, student representative.
Hello, my name is Riley Smith. Neither of the representatives, Alex or Alexis, could make it tonight because of prior engagements. I am a member of Student Senate Committee. I am also the junior class president. I am on the junior class committee, a member of National Honor Society, as well as National Art Honor Society. I'm glad to be here tonight. Some events that occurred this month were the freshman class dance, which was on February 19th. The boys and girls basketball teams made the playoffs. The hockey team made it into playoffs, and their next game is the championship versus Avon Grove, which is tonight. Derek Stevenson set the high jump record for Sun Valley. Also, 5 swimmers made it to districts this year. The debate team made it to districts for the first time in school history. And lastly, the high Q team is in the playoffs for the second year in a row. The high Q team will be at Radnor tomorrow. The events we'll be looking forward to are the VBM, or the Volleyball Marathon, which will be happening Friday night into Saturday morning. Sun Valley is hosting the Unified Bocce Championships for Delaware County on March 1st. Dr. Seuss Night is March 2nd. Spring sports all start the 7th, and sophomore class dance is March 4th. The spring break is March 21st through the 28th. The next meeting, either Alex or Alexis will have an update on junior prom, which is April 15th, and the senior prom, which is May 6th. Thank you for letting me be a part of your meeting tonight.
Thank you, Riley. Next, announcements for the public. Prior to our regular board meeting, the school board met in executive session to discuss litigation and personnel issues. Comments by members of the board? Seeing none. Items for board information. There's nothing to report for 8.01, actually 7.01 Legislative Council report. Public comments? Seeing none. Items for board review. 9.01 Personnel Professional on page 3. Continues on page 4. Continues on page 5. Continues on page 6. Includes 9.02 Personnel Classified. Concludes on page 7. This references the PENDELCO budget 2015-2016, the Act 93 plans, the PDEA agreement, the PDESPA agreement, the PDSSPA agreement, the PA School Code section 1108B. It is the administrative recommendation to approve all personnel items as presented. Do I have this motion? Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 9.03, Ms. Stone.
9.03, Reading Tutoring Contracted Services. The motion is to approve a contract with Andrea Michaels for reading tutoring services as presented. Do we have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments?
Yes, let me just note that this is for a very special
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 9.04, Ms. Denny.
9.04, Special Education Agreement for Student Number 35021. The motion is to approve the DeVrow Agreement for Student 35021 as presented. Do I have this motion?
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 9.05, Mr. Doherty.
Item 9.05, Demand Response Agreement. The motion is to approve an agreement with Enterwise Global Technologies to participate in the PJM Summer Demand Response Program as presented. Do I have this motion?
Questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. 9.06, Ms. Jones.
9.06, exonerate TD Bank from collecting delinquent taxes. The motion is to exonerate TD Bank, deputized school district tax collector of Aston, Brookhaven, and Parkside from collecting delinquent 2015 and 2016 real estate tax bills, and to ratify the filing and unpaid delinquent real estate taxes with Delaware County Tax Claim Bureau. Do I have this motion?
So moved.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 9.07, Ms. Powell.
9.07, Plan Con K, 2010 General Obligation Bond Debt. Motion is to approve and submit Plan Con K for the refunding of the Series 2010 General Obligation Bond. Do I have this motion?
Questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. 9.08, Ms. Stone.
9.08, the disposal of item. Motion is to approve the following: the disposal of old buses which are no longer operational as presented below. The 1999 International School Bus number 61, mileage 201,357, and the 2000 International School Bus number 62, the mileage is 197,825. Do I have this motion?
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 9.09, Ms. Denny.
9.09, first day of school for students for the 2016-2017 school year. The motion is to establish the first day of school for students for the 2016 to 2017 school year as Tuesday, September 6, 2016. Do I have this motion?
Questions or comments? We just wanted to make a note, the administration, with the board support, we just wanted to let families know well in advance as far as, at least for the first day. And as we've done in the past, our first day will be the day after Labor Day. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. 9.10, Mr. Doherty.
Item 9.10, special education agreement for students number 42834, number 13028, and number 81540. The motion is to approve the CADES agreement for student number 42834, number 13028, and number 81540 as presented. Do I have this motion?
Questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. 9.11, Ms. Jones.
9.11, waiver of fees for Delaware County Senior Games. The motion is to approve the request of the Delaware County Services for the Aging to waive fees for the use of Sun Valley Track for the Delaware County Senior Games being held Friday, June 24th, 2016, from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. Do I have this motion?
So moved.
Questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. And we have one more item on the agenda. 9.12 is the waiver of fees, Delaware County Symphony. This motion is to approve the request of the Delaware County Symphony Orchestra to waive facility use fees for the Northley Middle School Auditorium for March 5th and March 6th, 2016. Do I have this motion? Questions or comments? Are those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Next on the agenda is comments by members of the public. Seeing none. Comments by members of the board? Good. Future meetings. Wednesday, March 16th, 2016 is our study session. It's a place to be determined, but it will be at one of the high schools. I'm sorry, be at one of the schools. Will not be at Sun Valley, but it'll be one of the schools. And our regular board meeting will be after spring break, so it's 2 weeks later, on Wednesday, March 30th here in the Service Center for a regular board meeting. Motion for adjournment.